Well, I've committed. The base has officially started. A lot of trees are gone. It looks really ugly now. I've got a super good vision of what I want my base to look like. I mentioned last episode, getting into more details about what the base would be. It's gonna be Studio Ghibli inspired. That's the whole theme. That being said, I have a whole narrative, lore, story line going on with a central structure. That central structure is going to require a lot of mud and a bunch of other blocks we currently don't have. Frog lights, other things, copper, glass, concrete. Let's just say, before we get to the big thing, we got to do a lot of smaller preparations. And if you know me, I like doing my small preparations in a way overly done ways. So first step today is going to be building a mud farm, which I'm actually going to do right down here-ish, somewhere here. Yes. Yeah, this terrain is a little funky. I know 2 seconds ago I said things were Ghibli inspired, and this does not look like it. Trust me, eventually things will come together. But I still want to have a really like characteristic terrain, very standout-ish terrain. Force myself to do something I haven't really done before, and this is yet another example of that. Now, this is just the initial shaping. My idea is that we're gonna have all these cubes, right? So it's very, very geometric ground, but I still want to roughen them up a bit and not make them so perfect, which means I guess I have to start doing that. Okay, well, that went 10 times better than expected. I like the shape a lot. Pretty crazy. What just a few extra blocks and a few less blocks does. I was really worried once I started adding these blocks that everything would kind of disappear and it would all turn into normal terrain as I typically would make it, but starting with the cubes actually paid off. We get a very unique looking shape here that I'm pretty happy with. The next step to all this, of course, is going to be texturing, and I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do this, so I'm not even sure if I'm able to explain it. I'm just going to grab a few blocks and see what happens. It's coming together. I'm thinking I'm going to add a lot of grass on top as well. We also have to figure out how to hide all our lighting in there. Adding the grass on top of everything is really starting to define our edges. That being said, we still got a lot of very flat stone faces. We've also got a missing waterfall and not a lot of foliage and no house outline. I don't know how much I'm going to work on. Honestly, I just want to make a really long montage to the song that you're listening to right now because it sounds real nice. And I edit as I go, so I can do these things. Okay, bye.
Minecraft is all that I do each day, yeah. Outside it, I walk alone. Yeah.
Can I sue you for air damage?
No.
Whoa! Whoa! You don't have my vote anymore. I have built quite a bit, yes, but I need to show some clips. I'm not lonely, I swear. I don't just build in a corner all day and not talk to anyone. I have friends. But we had yard work, which is basically the backyard's version of everyone get on and be productive. I'm gonna show you what happened that day.
Yeah, I'm voting for Huel.
I'm not voting for her. She insults my performance.
Huel.
You need to write down your vote and put it in the box
She
up there.
literally just left us.
By the way, I just noticed this looks like a giant chair. The stage.
It
Oh.
really
Looks like
does.
a giant
For the-
chair.
Yeah, it
To sit on.
does.
We have 4 rulers? Or
Yeah.
positions of rulership. We have President, Prime Minister, King, and Supreme Monarch Butterfly.
Sorry.
I don't think that's a
That's a good
role.
title.
Can you please show up in a monarch butterfly skin?
Hold on. It's me.
Oh my god!
Why
I'm
does it have
here.
What
legs?
is that?
Why does it have legs?
I'm here. I got legs. I learned how to walk.
My favorite is just the void over in the left now.
Yes.
Timer is in the ground. How's it
I'm
going down
Supreme
there?
Monarch now.
Where did you go?
It's
You're
me.
so
That's
beautiful.
pretty good.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Wait,
much
no,
better.
you just walking around.
Oh, wait, I got an idea.
I fear.
Really testing your vert here.
Oh god.
Shortest person on the very
No,
top.
no. Hold on, I can get it.
Oh!
Oh. Okay. To BH, ready?
You are one
The butterfly is
powerful
taking
butterfly.
flight.
You had doubts on his productivity.
La, 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 la.
I have doubts on my
La
productivity.
la la la. La 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 la.
Hi, BH. I'm
Hello.
the Supreme Monarch of the server.
PPH. How we going?
There's
Good.
this new
This is
Supreme
pretty.
Monarch in town.
Yeah, there is.
I love this
Monarch
bridge.
Butterfly.
What is this butterfly?
She's a
I'm
supreme
beautiful, it's
monarch.
not a face.
It's
Hey,
We got this.
Huel.
Yeah.
Huel. Can we go through the Elisha course through spawn?
Okay.
Oh, that's a really good
Can I
idea.
get
I
my
love
armor
this.
for no other reason?
No armor.
Oh no! Ow.
Through the mammoth. Oh! Land it.
Beautiful.
We did it.
Perfect.
Oh hey, we're over here now.
Yes,
glad
that's
I
why
voted
should
for
vote
you.
me. Anyway, I'm glad to be the elected Monarch Butterfly of the server.
Anyway, time to break this whole thing down. First thing I want to touch on is the texturing. Obviously, there's a lot of it. That's mostly what's going on here. I decided to go with coarse dirt to transition the grass to the stone, and you'll notice it has these brown terracotta dots and these tough dots. My thought process behind this, coarse dirt is a very, very fine texture, right? Every pixel is very different from the next, so you got a ton of contrast, a ton of noise within the space. So you get this really fine, small-scale granular texture, but when you step away, it all kind of blends together and looks super muddy. And I still want this place to look good from a distance, so I add in these brown spots, which really close look kind of strange, kind of bizarre, but as you step back, this will be a lot faster. As you step back, it just turns into more of that dirt texture. It's working on different scales, right? And I think I've hit a balance where it still looks good from up close, but it also looks good from far away. Same concept with the tough. The tough stands out a little bit when you're super close, but as you move away, it kind of just softens that transition. Otherwise, it would be very distinctly brown and then black. You'll also notice I changed out the rock throughout that montage. Originally, I was thinking of going with something lighter, using like tough and pale moss and stone throughout this whole section. I like the darker colors. And my thinking on that is this is Ghibli inspired, right? So it's supposed to look very painted. And to get that painted look, you'll notice with the water as well, I want super high contrast basically everywhere. Now, not all Ghibli films are super contrasty and colorful, but one thing I think Ghibli does really well is their use of color and knowing when to make things vibrant. So having this really vibrant grass and then a very dark backdrop is going to help a lot. First of all, with defining the difference between walls and floors, but also if I have a building such as this one, I suddenly have a very nice dark backdrop to have some colors, whatever's going to be here, very saturated or very light to pop. And speaking of that color and saturation going into all the buildings, I didn't want the foliage to distract too much, so I kept it green and white. The white stands out, it's noticeable, especially against this dark backdrop, but it's not going to be too distracting from, let's say, a red building And then there's going to be a path that goes through here. Most of the river did get covered up, but that's okay. Mud farm's going to go in here. I'm going to make the executive and horrible decision to build the entire building before building the mud farm because I am smart. So I guess I'm going to go build now. Yeah, fancy building behind me, but have you considered mud farm? I've got the supplies back here in this barrel. It should be pretty straightforward to make. I'm going to follow the ilmango tutorial because we're not on my single player world, so I can actually follow tutorials. And it's going to go inside right here. And it looks something like that. Really easy farm to use. You just grab some dirt, put it in the offhand, and do this. Except my shovel is way too fast, so we're gonna have to fix that. But you get the idea, I'm sure. We can now have a lot of mud, which is gonna be something I need a lot of. And who knows, maybe we can make some deals, sell it around the server. I know there's quite a few people working with it. Anyway, now we can talk about the final product. I press the record button, and it rains 0.2 seconds afterwards. Okay, anyway, we're just gonna talk through this. This is the vision I have for this whole place. Well, this whole mountain. You can see we haven't covered much of it yet. But even though it's a small little corner, it's a very detailed and very lovely small little corner. I'm really happy with how this whole place turned out. No interior, of course. And I guess I did a lot without actually talking through my thoughts. So maybe I backtrack a bit and explain the building and everything. Building itself, it's a mud place, so I wanted mud. And then I really wanted to play with having a sharp contrast against the rocks. So I went with this mud and white. And the red just goes nice with those two colors. This is something I had like 4 different iterations of sketching. That is thunder. But I'm trying to say, I had a pretty clear vision for how that building was gonna look. And it turned out pretty much exactly as I thought. Oh look, and now we have a lovely rainbow. Yeah, nice little windows, little flower beds. Ignore the dirt underneath. I can't place slabs or trapdoors there because of these ones, so you just don't look. Nice little cloth overhang here. Tons of lanterns everywhere. I want this place to be very bright. It'll make more sense when you see the rest of the base in the future, but this place needs to be very lively. Oh, and also with detailing on the server, we've got the little player heads. You can see I put them here, and I also put them on the roof. And ignore the little noises coming from this pot. That's a mimic from Jay's mod. Jay's came over and placed that whole thing up there. It actually kind of makes sense for the future of this base for that to be wiggling and alive, so I won't explain. But yeah, that's this whole building. Pretty simple. And when we add the trees around it, hugging it basically, covering up any less desirable blink spots, everything really comes together. I want this to be a super dense forest, which is kind of hard to do when you're making custom trees. There's something about placing your own trees that makes you want to space them out and make them their own thing. And because I used Lightmatica with about 7 different tree assets here, it was a little easier for me to crunch things together. Now, I do want to expand this tree palette in the future, but yes, I'm using Lightmatica. I'm building them in creative, copying them over here. I'm going to be building hundreds of trees, if not thousands. So it's safe to say that I am allowing myself that efficiency. I showed it off in the reveal shots, but this is just my favorite sightline. I don't know what it is about it, but it's beautiful. That's this whole place done though. Hopefully, moving forward, we can start doing a bunch of different terraforming. I'm thinking of doing a lot of live streams and just slowly chipping away at this whole place. No clue what I'm gonna do for next episode, but there's a lot I could do, so I'll think about it for a day or two. Oh, there's an extra log there. But I got nothing else to talk about. I'm kind of just running around and rambling. Make sure to like and subscribe and do the things. I go now. Bye. Bye. Bye.